as part of your personal development quest. I call them the 5 abilities. Here's the first one. Develop the ability to absorb, the ability to soak it up like you're doing today. Be like a sponge. Don't miss anything. And not just the words. It's true. Don't miss the words, but don't miss the atmosphere. Don't miss the color. Don't miss the scenario. Don't miss what's going on. Most people are just trying to get through the day. Here's what I want you to be committed to do. Learn to get from the day. Don't just get through it, get from it. Learn from it. Let the day teach you. Join the University of Life. What a difference that'll make in your future. Commit yourself to learning. Commit yourself to absorbing. Be like a sponge. Get it. Don't miss it. I've got a personal friend of mine who's so gifted in this area. I think he has soaked up and remembers everything that's ever happened to him. He can tell you as a teenager where he was and what he did and what he said and what she said and how they felt and the color of the sky and what was going on that day. The reason is because he gets it. He gets it. He gets it. And why is it? When he's there, he doesn't miss anything. Here's a good phrase for you to jot down. Wherever you are, be there. Be there to absorb it up. Be there to soak it up. Take a picture if you can, but take pictures of your mind. Let your soul and heart take pictures. Get it, capture it, absorb it. Such an important ability to develop, the ability to get it. Don't miss it. Don't be casual in getting it. Key phrase, casualness leads to casualties. Second, learn to respond. The ability to respond means let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. Let sad things make you sad. Let happy things make you happy. I'm telling you, give in to the emotion. Let the emotion strike you, not just the words, not just the image. Let the feeling strike you. Let the emotion strike you. Here's what's important. Our emotions need to be as educated as our intellect. Our emotions need to be educated as well as our intellect. It's important to know how to feel. It's important to know how to respond. It's important to let life in, let it touch you. I'm the greatest guy in the world to take to the movies. I get into a good movie. I want a good movie. Make me laugh, make me cry, scare me to death, teach me something, take me high, take me low. Just don't leave me as I was when I came in. Touch me, do something to me. I'm asking you to get it. Absorb, respond. We've covered the first 2 abilities in the personal development.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Turn my camera back on, bear with me. Okay, so hopefully you can all see me and hear me okay. Just stick a 1 in the chat for me or something, just so I know that people can hear me. Lovely, lovely. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so firstly, for those of you, or most of you that don't know me, my name's Ricky Stubbs. I am 35. I'll be 36 next month. And I'm a heating engineer by trade. And I've known Brad, who took the call on Tuesday, who most of you would have spoke to through the Telegram chat. We've known each other well over a decade now, played football together. We're in the same industry. We've worked together. So, yeah, we've worked alongside each other for a while now. And we've been trading for around 4 years, okay, in the markets. On this call, I'm going to be covering, it's going to be slightly different to what you did on Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to be covering a little bit about trading, psychology, mindset, and covering that sort of aspect of the industry, and then moving on to a little bit on the charts, just showing the in-house strategy that we have. I'm not going to flood you with too much information on that. I know most of you are sort of fairly brand new, so I don't want to scare you off with the charts, but we will cover that a little bit as well. In terms of my calls, I'm quite interactive, so I'm more than happy for you to unmute yourself and ask a question or type it in the chat. I do have the chat open on another screen, so I will keep an eye on that. Also, Brad is on the call as well, so if I do happen to miss a question in the chat, he's likely to answer it as well. All right, so don't be shy. Feel free to ask anything at any point. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy what we've got to offer and you're enjoying the week so far. So bear with me. I'm just going to share my screen. If I can find it. Been a while since I've done one of these. There we go. So you should be able to see a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation. Again, just stick a 1 or something in the chat for me, just so I know that my screen is sharing properly. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so first things first, the financial markets, Forex. Why trade Forex? What's the sort of benefit of trading in the markets? Well, as you can see in the corner there, recession proof. Okay, the markets are always moving. It doesn't matter whether they're moving up or moving down. We can take profit out of the market with the way we trade. So it doesn't matter what's going on with the economy. There's plenty of movement in the market and plenty of opportunity for us to make money. £7 trillion dollars, sorry, a day is transferred, exchanged on the markets every single day. It's about £250 million an hour, I believe, which is ridiculous. If we're looking for 1% of 100 grand funded account or something like that, it is minuscule compared to what is available in the market. So the potential is absolutely massive, obviously. Freedom, as long as you've got internet connection, then you can trade. Obviously MetaTrader, which you should all have on your phones now. So there's freedom to trade from anywhere in the world. Trade while you work, trade around your lifestyle, trade around your kids, whatever it may be. All right. And again, as I just said, plenty for everybody. So plenty of money in the market that we can hopefully access and extract from the market. All right. One of the things we get asked a lot, if it's that easy, why doesn't everybody do it? The simple answer, it's not that easy. Okay. It's not as easy as you might be led to believe. And that is why they don't all do it. Okay. Because there is a lot more to trading than meets the eye. And not many people find that they are cut out for it. They may be coming in for a get rich quick scheme, something like that. And you'll soon find out that that's not how it works. And as you can see there, it's I believe, most people say 80-20. I believe it's a 90-10 split in terms of 10% skill, 90% mindset. I really, really do believe that. The longer I've been in it, the more that has resonated with me. So that's why this call is very important. And obviously today, a couple of the signals did go to stop loss, or the first signal, I believe, went to stop loss today. So you would have seen some of your profits wiped out in the market, and then you have to recover and so on and so forth. And it's being able to handle those losses and not let it affect you. That is the biggest battle that you'll probably have. Okay. So for myself today, I'll just give you an example of what I did today. When that trade lost, I have certain rules, certain limits that I say, if I lose X amount, I will not trade again that day. So all those trades that most of you got on to recover your losses, I personally didn't take it. So I am at a loss today, and it's absolutely no problem. I don't care, doesn't bother me. That's part of trading. You win days, you lose days, you have great days, you have not so great days. If you manage your risk, which again, Brad would have spoke about, the losses won't hurt you. So for me, I followed my rules. I don't have FOMO. I don't think, oh my God, everybody else got their money back and I didn't, because I know tomorrow's another day, tomorrow's another opportunity. And that is where you need to get to with your mindset within trading. Does that make sense? Just put a 2 in the chat for me if that makes sense, just so I know that everybody's with me on that front. Okay, this is the main thing for me. You need to start with why. Now, I understand that you may have just seen, whether it was TikTok or someone you spoke to, one of your friends has invited you to this, and you like the idea of placing some trades, getting some signals, making some money. That's great. Everybody loves that. But if you are serious about doing this long term, whether that be you want to be a long-term trader, learn the skill yourself, place your trades and not rely on signals and not rely on anything else. You want to learn over the long term how to actually trade, or whether you want to take signals long term. It doesn't matter what one you want to do, but if you do plan on doing this for the long term, then your why, your reason for doing it needs to be clear. And for 95% of people, I'd say it needs to be bigger than just, I want to make some money. And the reason I say that is if your only motivation is to make money, on the days when you don't make money, or on the weeks when you don't make money, or God forbid, if you ever have a bad month, if you don't manage your risk, if the only thing you're here for is to make money, the second you lose money, you'll quit. Because the why is not big enough. If the why is I want to make it and you lose it, it's not working, you quit. Okay? If your why is bigger than money, you will look at the bigger picture and you will understand that there will be days that you lose money, and you'll understand that overall, over the long term, whether that be a series of 20 trades, whether that be a series of 20 days, 20 weeks, 20 months, whatever it is, over the long term, if you're doing it correctly and you're managing your risk, you will make money. And the small amount of time, the odd day or the odd trade where you don't, won't bother you anymore. So what sort of thing do I mean when I say that your why has got to be bigger than money? So for me, for example, I want to have more time freedom. I don't want to be a slave to my job. My little girl lives, unfortunately, her mum moved quite far away. It restricts the amount of time that I get to see her. Okay, this isn't a sob story, by the way. It's just my why. Okay, I'm just sharing it with you so you understand the sort of thing I'm talking about. So for me, I want to be able to see her more often during the week because I'm not restricted by my work and her bedtime because she's still small. Now, money, obviously, is the tool that will allow me to have that freedom. But the actual reason for the money is bigger than just money. Does that make sense? Just again, just stick a 2 in the chat, just so I know you're with me on what I'm saying. Because obviously money is the outcome. Money is what you do want to make, but you need a reason behind making that money. Okay. So some people, you know, they just might want to sack their boss. Okay. They might hate their boss, hate their job. You might have goals to travel. You might have whatever it may be. Okay. Everyone's got different goals. You don't have to share it, but you do need to be clear as to what that is. Okay. What your reason is. Money is the tool. Your why is the fuel. That's a saying that for me is top. Okay. That's a saying that you need to stay in your head or something along those lines. If it resonates with you, that is what you need to be successful and have longevity in this industry. Okay. Everybody okay with that? Oh, one thing before I move on to the next slide. I used to think, and you could probably tell from the way I speak, all right, I'm a normal bloke. I work in the heating industry. I'm involved with football, you know, all the rest of it. When I first got into this sort of thing, I laughed when people said to me, have a vision board or put a vision board together and things like that. I used to think it was a bit, you know, wishy-washy, whatever you want to call it. But as time goes on, you start to understand the reason why people do that. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and make a vision board. What I'm saying is, if you have a clear reason why and a clear goal and things that you want to achieve through trading, you need to be able to see it. So whether that be a screensaver on your phone or a little note to yourself when you make, like by the kettle when you make a cup of tea in the morning, whatever it is, reasons to keep you focused on what it is you want to achieve. Okay, now whether that you could go the whole hog and put a vision board together and all the rest of it and have it up in your living room like some people do. Me personally, I've got a screensaver, got pictures of my little girl and things that I want to achieve through what we're doing. Okay, but it's very important that you are clear on what your why is. Okay, so right, next slide. Bigger picture, again, very ties into what we just said. Risk management is absolutely vital. I'm not going to go over it with you again today. If you wasn't on Brad's call, then it's something that you do need to understand and maybe reach out to whoever got you involved and they can give you a little bit more information on this if you wasn't on that call, but it's absolutely key because risk management will minimize your losses and hopefully maximize your gains. Okay, so as long as you understand this sort of level of risk that you can tolerate, you will then understand what percentage to risk on a trade and so on and so forth. So for argument's sake, if you have 100 grand funded account and you risk 2%, are you comfortable in seeing a screen with £2,000 in red on it? Because £2,000 in red seems like a lot of money. If you had £100 in your account and you lost 2% and you had a £2 in red, doesn't feel so bad. It's the exact same figure. It's 2% of your account. So over time, you learn to think in percentages rather than thinking in monetary value. And that's very, very important in terms of your mindset and risk management as well. Okay. Make a vision board. I think I've just covered this slide without going on to it, and write down your goals. Okay. So we've already done this one. Personal development. Anyone put a 3 in the chat if anyone's ever sort of gone into personal development, ventured into it, dabbled into it. If you do, if any of you do, or listen to anyone in particular, maybe put it in the chat if there's a certain speaker or someone that you've listened to before or read. Okay, so it could be quite new then because there's not too much going on in there. Ricky Stubbs is good. Yeah, cheers, Bill. No, right. Well, personal development. Okay, it's very very important in my opinion. Trading will help you grow as a person. Growing as a person will help you trade. It says there. What do I mean by that? Well, for me, there are skills that I've learned since trading that I didn't realize I didn't have. Patience being one of them. Perseverance maybe being another. I thought I was okay at both of those things until I started to try to learn the art of trading. Because again, you have moments where you think you've cracked it, and then the market will humble you and you will go on a little losing run, and then you think you don't know what you're doing. I've been working on a strategy which you'll see later on, and that strategy has been pretty much 4 years worth of work. Obviously not every day because I work. You know, I'm not spending 10 hours a day on it, don't get me wrong, but I have persevered and kept going because my why was big enough. But the trading taught me to have more perseverance, more patience, more discipline than I realized I had or realized I needed. But by the same token, if you develop yourself as a person, and you work on maybe things that you do know that you lack, or maybe you could be better in, that will also then translate over to your trading. And it's amazing once you get involved how much the two are interlinked. And it's only sometimes if you take a step back and sort of analyze that and take a moment to understand what's been going on, where it really clicks and you realize how important the two things are and how they tie in together. Recommended books. There's 2 books here. Okay, I don't know whether you enjoy reading or don't enjoy reading. Me personally, I do most of mine on Audible because I spend a lot of time on the road. So most of mine is done that way, and I just listen to the books. Trading in the Zone is number 1. Don't know if you want to take a picture of that or write it down. By Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. So I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything out there. Yeah, so that book itself is, again, back on mindset. It's a lot about what I've just spoke about. Okay, it's the emotion of trading. It delves into the emotional side of it, fear and greed, your discipline, all those sort of key personal traits that are important to master, personal emotions that are important to master when you trade. So you end up, one phrase you may hear a lot if you do stay in the industry is you want to end up at a point where you're almost robotic. You put a trade on, you put your stop loss in, you put your target, you know how much you're risking, and you just let the market give you what it's going to give you. And you walk away and you get on with your day, and that's it. Okay. When you first start, and I'm sure you guys have probably been doing it throughout this week with the signals, you'll put a signal on. And I was exactly the same, by the way. So this isn't me, judging or anything like that. And I still do it from time to time. Every 5 minutes, open up MetaTrader. What have I got? Oh, it's red. Oh, it's blue. It's going up. Oh, is it? It's so easy to do. And eventually you'll get to a point, especially if you trust your own analysis and you trust what you're doing, where that sort of anxiety side of it starts to fade away, and you just no emotion, put it on, let it do its thing. It is what it is, because you know and you trust and you understand that over a period of time you're going to win more than you lose, you're going to make more than you lose, and that's the end game at the end of the day. So that's what trading in the zone is. That's really focuses on the emotional side of trading, and I would highly recommend it again if you are looking to do this long term. The other one is Trade Your Way to Financial Freedom. Okay, and again, this similar, but looks at helps you to develop and find a strategy that works for you based on who you are as a person. What do I mean by that in trading context? Well, if you are somebody who is, I use one of my friends, for example. I've got a friend who loves a bet, he'll bet on anything: football, snooker, tennis, X Factor, like whatever it is, he'll bet on it. Like, so for him, if he was going to trade, he would be a scalper. He would be someone that gets in the market, wants to watch it, fast pace, gets the target, take it out, very, very quick, impulsive. That would suit him. He wouldn't have the time to put a trade on and wait 3 days for it to come in. He just couldn't do it. Other people are more patient, more thoughtful, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of more laid back about it. So they would rather analyze a chart, wait for price to get to a certain area. It could take a week before it gets to their area. Then they wait for the confirmation. Then they'll put the trade on. Everybody's different. And trading your way to financial freedom helps you work out, based on who you are, what style would work for you. Okay. So again, it's another book that I would highly, highly recommend if you're going to embark on this journey. Okay. Has everybody got them written down before I carry on? Simon, can't turn it off. Sorry, Simon, what do you mean in the chat there, mate? Can't turn it off, I can see.
I think he means a mobile phone, mate, when you keep looking at the trades.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't see when it come in. So apologies. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, exactly. Everybody has been there and done it. Believe me. And Brad will vouch for that as well, I'm sure. Okay, right. Next. Okay, right. So next, I'm just going to show you a little bit about our strategy. This is one that I've developed over 4 years, as I said. It's an in-house strategy. So at the moment, if you do decide to join up to EA Economy, you will get access, exclusive access. Okay, so the only people that have this is myself and everybody within our EA Economy structure, organization, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so as part of what you would sign up for with the platform that Brad showed you on Tuesday night, you will also get this added in for no extra charge. Okay, so it's just like an extra bonus, if you like, for being part of our team. There's a mechanical entry model that's currently being developed as well. That won't mean much to you at the moment, but I'm hoping to take even another step out of the process that you won't have to think about. When I share the screen in a minute, that will make a little bit more sense. And the strategy itself, the concept behind it is to trade alongside the bank's intention. Now, if any of you have ever tried to YouTube teach yourself trading before, which I did before I found this company, you will probably see and hear a lot of people saying order blocks, trading, trading with the banks and all that sort of thing. What I try to do with mine is rather than trying to predict where the banks are going to trade from, which can be very difficult, I try to see the signature move so I understand this is what they've done. So now I want to trade alongside the way they're trying to move the market. So I'm not trying to predict what they do because I personally don't believe you can predict what they do. But once I see what they're doing, they have the money and they have the resources and the power to move the market. And all I want to do is get a little piece of the pie alongside the way they're moving. And that's it. Okay, so that's the sort of thinking behind this. So I'm going to stop this share and start another one. So just bear with me. Well, there's so many screens open, bear with me. It should be this one. Right, okay. Can you see the screen that says CDM strategy on the TradingView chart? Brilliant. Right, guys, I'm looking at a screen over here now, so I don't think I've gone a bit wonky and not looking at the camera. So CDM strategy, it stands for consolidation, direction, mitigation. Okay. And I'm going to draw out an example. And just by the way, guys, before I start with this, don't be put off by any of this or the jargon or, you know, think that you'll never get to this point, because everybody that started on this journey thought they wouldn't get to this point. I thought I wouldn't get to this point. And I'm not showing you this to try to impress you. It's more to impress upon you what's possible and show you what's been achieved by us in sort of the space of 4 years. Now, 4 years might sound like a long time, but as I said earlier, 4 years of working full time, you know, being a dad, having football 3 times a week, you know, there's not a lot of time left, but the time that I did have, I put into the charts. And the reason I share that with you is everybody thinks they don't have time to do it. But if your why is big enough and you want it badly enough, you will find the time, and it is possible, because I was exactly where you are 4 years ago. And what I'm about to show you, I believe, is something that people can aspire to, not necessarily to be able to trade this if you don't like the look of it or you don't get on with it or it doesn't match your personality, but there's nothing to stop you getting an understanding of the market along the same lines. Okay, so just clear that up before we go on. So consolidation, direction, mitigation. The idea behind it is you will have an area within the chart where price will be stuck inside a consolidation range. So price will just move up and down and up and down and up and down like so. Now, what happens in this scenario is the buyers and the sellers in the market, because that's all there is. There's buyers and there's sellers, and that neither of them are taking control. Okay, so neither of them, it's not moving price up and it's not moving price down. When price moves sideways like this, it's building orders. Okay, and I don't expect you to understand too much what that means at the moment. But when orders like that are created, the bank has to collect orders or liquidity in order to move price in the direction it wants. So, for example, in this example, price has come up, down, up, down, up, down. Then price moved up before it moves down. That is now showing us the direction in which we believe the banks want to move the market. Okay, so that is showing direction or intention, however you want to call it. But for us, consolidation, direction, mitigation. Okay, then price will work its way back up from down here. However, it doesn't always look the same. It's not always this clean, and it will come back into that same zone. Okay, so if we just very quickly, we would just mark that across. Okay, so we have our consolidation, we have a move up, before a move down. So it shows our direction, and then we come back in and we mitigate this zone. Now, if we're correct and we spot the right move, this is where we then look to get involved in the trade, okay? And all we do is we have a preset tool. Again, don't worry too much about this, but we have a preset tool that you would mark the zone up, okay? And you have 2 entry levels, stop loss, and 3 target levels. And all you would do is for your entry, you would just do something like that, okay? And it's around 3.5 to 1 every single time, risk to reward. You can use these other targets if you like to, but again, I'm not going to go too much into that now. But if you remember the risk to reward that Brad spoke about, if that's 3.5 to 1, if you're risking 1% on a 100 grand account, that's £3,500, and so on and so forth. And by the way, I only use the 100 grand account because it's easier for maths. All right. Again, so that would be our consolidation, direction, mitigation. So price comes back into the zone, and then hopefully it reacts out and heads down to where we want it to go. Okay, that's what we would be looking for a bearish move in the market. Obviously, the opposite way would just be the exact same thing, but going in the other direction. So you would have price consolidate in a zone, move lower before running higher, showing us our direction, work its way back, mitigate the zone, and back out. And again, that's what we're looking for. So this leg here is the bit that we try to get involved in with this strategy. So we are waiting for this to happen to show us where we believe the banks want price to go. And therefore, we're just trying to get in and trade along the same way that they're showing us they want to go. Does the logic make sense there? Just put a 1 in the chat if the logic makes sense. Danny, I've just seen your message, mate. I will answer that in a minute. Again, don't worry if you don't understand the in-depth too much. I just want you to, get a basic feel for it. Danny, again, obviously I know you know a little bit, mate, so I don't want to confuse too many people in terms of bankers, candles and stuff. I look more for a range. I trade out of a range rather than a specific candle. But similar concept. And if you dive deeper into the actual indicator itself, we do have, I'll just turn that on very quickly, areas of supply and demand from such candles, Dan. All right, I know you know a little bit already, but that's not for today. Okay. And just again, guys, everything that you can see on here at the moment is all part of the indicator that you get access to. Okay, so it's not all switched on. There is more in here that you can turn on for different things and bits and bobs, but again, not needed for right now. And we do also have a second indicator down the bottom that helps you to define zones. But again, don't want to confuse you too much today. So I just want to show you a couple of examples on the chart. Now, these blue zones here that you can see, the shaded zones, are areas where price is consolidating-ish, okay? So they're not to be taken as gospel. It's very, very hard to build something that can see what the eye sees, if that makes sense, in code. And I didn't build the code, by the way. I've got no idea how to do that, but I know somebody that does. What these areas do is they give you an idea of where a zone may be for us to look at, okay? So if we go back through and just have a little look here, we have price here moving sideways, indicated by this range. We have this wick at the bottom. If I just zoom in a bit, I'm not sure how well you can see this. So this wick down on this candle is that move down before moving up. Yeah. So I said if we was looking for buys, we go sideways before moving down, before showing us its intention. Okay. That is a move down before showing intention, which would mean we would then box up that zone, which is now the area that we would trade from. This area here, this yellow area, is when we would be looking at the charts to get in. So we'd look, we'd see, okay, this has happened, and we would place an order, which would be, if I choose the right one. Okay, we would do that, like that. And there's price comes down, hits our entry, hits our target. Okay. So that's one move. Over here, opposite direction. What do we have? Well, we have a consolidation zone. So it's telling us there's an area where prices move sideways. So we can now look at the bigger picture. We've had price move up here. So it has taken out this high. Okay, price has moved up before moving down. So this becomes our area that we are looking at. So again, that'd be our sell zone. We'd have been looking at it here at this candle. So you can see price comes back into the zone before moving away. And again, just about, I mean, it pretty much pings off of the target there to the nose, and then off it goes back the other direction. But that would be our entry here and down again. Now, this one here, what we don't have before price moved up, and this is why this is a loss or you didn't take the trade, depending on how well you're seeing it. Okay, now it would be very easy to go, okay, price went sideways, price moved up, I'm looking for a buy, I'm going to box this area up, I'm just going to put the fibs on, and price comes down and we lose that trade. Fine, no problem, you lose trades. But what you don't have before this move up is a move below this area, okay? Like here, we had the move up, and like here, we had the move down. We haven't got that showing on this particular one, okay? So that would be one reason why you wouldn't get into that trade. But if you did get into the trade, it doesn't matter, because you won this one, and you lose this one. If you're doing 1% a trade, you're 6% up over 3 trades. And then this is, I'm going to show you this one in replay mode. Okay, again, we have these areas. By the way, these areas are part of the indicator as well. Okay, they're not something I've drawn on. If we just turn this off, I'll show you. Okay, so these areas here are giving us an indication that price is moving or consolidating. We have a move up before our move down. So we have our buy to sell movement, which is now telling us that we believe the banks are going to move price lower. That's an intention for lower prices. So we would, again, we'd take that from here to here, which would then give us our preset area. And that is how we would be looking to take that trade. And if we play it out, I don't think it comes back for a while, if I remember rightly. Might make me look like a liar. There we go. Price comes into that range over here. Just so happens to be what I drew as well. That was it made me look good there, didn't it? But it comes back into this range. Remember, this is the one we was looking at. Price come in and reacted straight out, and it actually took out our target in one 15-minute candle. So from price hitting here, you've got one 15-minute candle that took every single take profit out. And that is something that we've developed, or I've developed over time, and something that you've got access to as being part of our group. Again, I'm only showing you that, guys, just to give you an idea of what's possible, and also, of course, what you have the opportunity to learn and trade with if you do decide to join. So, yeah, that was the reason for sharing that with you. Any questions on that? Anyone got anything they want to ask on that? No, good. Okay, brilliant. No worries. Well, that was all I wanted to show you on the charts. And obviously we've covered a little bit of mindset. So are there any questions on the mindset side of it and finding your why and anything else that you guys would want to know? Don't be shy. You're more than welcome to unmute yourself or stick a question in the chat. It's no problem. This is the worst part about doing these calls because you don't know if someone's typing or not. So I'm just sitting here like a donut. No, not looking likely. Oh, okay. Did the say no? Good question. Bear with me. I will find out the answer to that one for you. Let me find. Van K. I'll type it because I don't know if I'm going to be saying it right. So this is the name of the author for Trade Your Way to Financial Freedom. There you go. Should be able to see that in there for you, Dean. Cool, brilliant. Okay. Well, guys, if there's no more questions, then I appreciate your time this evening. I hope you are getting some value. I hope you've got some value from this and you're getting some value from the week and you're enjoying obviously being part of the trial. And hopefully this gives you a little bit more of an understanding as well around mindset and how to sort of handle days which don't necessarily go the way you want them to. If you have red days rather than blue, and how to sort of handle losses in the market because it will be part of it. And there's no point, we're not sitting here lying to you guys and trying to promise you you're going to win every trade you take if you join us and we'll make you a millionaire overnight, because it just doesn't work like that. And we're not the type of people to sit here and say that. We're on a journey and we'd love you to be on a journey with us. So yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. And I'll just see we've hit TP on the Ethereum trades as well. So happy days. So yeah, thank you again for your time, guys. I'll see you in the Telegram chat anyway, and possibly on tomorrow night's call as well. All right. Take care. Speak to you all soon.